I just watched the VladTV interview with Max B's co-defendant, Gina, the woman tied to his murder case, and it instantly raised serious questions. After hearing her speak, I had to stop and ask, why were people counting down for Max B to come home like this was some victory lap? Why are folks celebrating his release like it's something holy?
I don't care about the negativity. Don't mean nothing. I know one thing for certain. God got me right where he want me.
God has nothing to do with that situation at all. God doesn't support evil, and evil only backs evil, period. Yet most of the loud support seems to be coming from street dudes who are cheering this like it's a win. And even if someone lives that street life and doesn't care about an innocent man losing his life, don't they at least care about their own code?
Initially, the cops said that you were the mastermind of the whole situation?
I believe that's what Max's defense attorney said. Came from Max's defense camp. But I mean, that's like totally absurd to me.
That part is wild to me, because when Max B was facing trial, the very first move he made was pushing the blame onto Gina, throwing her straight under the bus and acting like none of it touched him. Watching that interview, it's clear she comes off confused and overwhelmed, like she never fully grasped what was really happening. Her explanations feel scattered, and it doesn't paint the picture of someone running a serious operation on their own at all. Max B, on the other hand, looks like the one calling the shots, trying to slide the responsibility onto her and play it off like she was the brain behind it.
Probably prostitution. He introduced me to that.
That idea sounds ridiculous, and nobody sharp, especially investigators, was buying that story for a second. None of it adds up, not even to people in the streets who treat cases like this as entertainment. Celebrating his release still feels off, because that's not standing on any kind of code or principle at all. She lays everything out on VladTV, saying she and Max B were in an open relationship.
That's when I met Alan. Alan was just like standing out there. You know, we just started talking. And then after that, like, you know, we went out and that was it. Like, I didn't really know the guy. We just like went out. He took me shopping. I was talking to Max on the phone like the whole time while we were like shopping and stuff. I had other plans. I wasn't trying to, you know, chill with the guy or nothing. I wanted to be where Max was. I told him we was on the phone like the whole time. Like, you know, we had the little bleep phones.
That claim feels shaky, and the whole dynamic sounds way more unbalanced than she admits. She says they lived together, and one day she got locked out when a wealthy guy pulled up and started talking to her. She admits she went along with it and even said, "This was my first time being with another guy," trying to frame it gently. Even when situations look messy and questionable, people still try to present themselves with a sense of modesty, no matter how wild the reality looks. Before she heads back to Max, she says she and the guy went back to his hotel first. According to her, nothing physical happened at all. She claims there was no intimacy, just a shower and some talking for a bit, keeping it light and calm. She explains that she had a copy of the hotel key because she was stepping in and out to smoke.
He's like, "Oh, you're here? Like, what did you get?" And he's like grabbing my bags, and he's like looking to see what I got and all the stuff. And then he's basically, you know, asking me like, did I get him anything?
Every time she left and came back, the key stayed with her and he never asked for it back. Eventually, she decided to leave him there and return straight to Max.
So then he just basically looked at the stuff and he's like, "Oh, this guy got some money." And then he was just started asking me questions about the guy, Alan. You know, he just called his brother, and then him and his brother start talking. That's when he told me, you know, he told me to like go show his brother where the guy was staying.
Once she got back to Max, she says she told him everything in full detail. She was like, "Oh my, oh bro, this guy has $50,000 cash." She told him she took the guy back to his hotel, saying there was money and jewelry still sitting there, untouched, exactly where she left him. That's when Max allegedly started running the play in his head. The plan was to use her as the connection, reach out to his brother, and line things up to rob the guy. Sitting around, plotting, acting reckless, and moving sloppy like it was nothing, a man takes a woman shopping, and suddenly, there's pressure for her to bring something back in return. That mindset right there is what people in the streets call ism, the same thing that got glamorized and dressed up as so-called pimping, even though the whole situation looks dirty and foul when you really break it down.
You actually have a key,
Yes, I had the key.
but you knocked on the door?
Yes.
What happens next?
A girl answered the door. She, yeah, a girl answered the door. And when she answered the door, you know, when I knocked on the door, actually, like, I was coming off the elevator. And, you know, I'm coming this way. Here's Pooh right here with the gun pointed toward my face in the door. So I'm knocking. When I knock on the door, the girl comes to the door. He put the gun to the girl and told her to shut up and cover her mouth. And then he, we went inside.
This was straight up grimy behavior, lazy moves from people who didn't want to earn what they already had access to. And let's be clear, Max B at that time was not broke at all. He wasn't desperate, not down bad, not stuck in the hood, struggling for his last dollar, even though that wouldn't excuse it anyway. This wasn't about survival, it was about greed, plain and simple. There was no real beef, no long-standing issue, no street conflict behind it. This wasn't some planned retaliation or backdoor situation either. It was just someone having money and someone else wanting more of it. So the decision gets made to involve his brother, the same brother now all over YouTube airing complaints and pointing fingers. People hear it, but honestly, the sympathy just isn't there because the bigger picture is way heavier than internet drama. What gets lost in all the noise is how ugly the damage really was. Innocent people were put in danger, lives were shaken up, and trauma was left behind that night. Even by their own version of events, another woman walked away, harmed and emotionally scarred, and that part doesn't get talked about enough at all. So they go inside and immediately take control, tying everyone up and putting pressure on Alan. Pooh Sims starts hitting him with the gun, demanding answers, trying to force him to say where the valuables are hidden. Alan starts listing what's in the room because, according to her, she already told Max B and Pooh Sims he had $50,000 in the bag. He spent this much on me, so he probably got about $30,000 left. Based on that, Max B and Pooh Sims walk in thinking there's still $30,000 cash sitting somewhere. But when they search the room, all they find are watches and jewelry. No stacks of cash anywhere, and now the mood shifts fast.
You duct tape everyone in the room. So everyone's duct taped. Alan's pistol whipped. Was he bleeding at this point?
No.
Okay, just bruised up. And then you guys start going through the room trying to find things?
He was asking him where the money was at. And I just stood there, basically, and Calvin basically he found a watch, and he told me to grab the bag and the laptop or whatever, but like, yeah, I didn't even know it was any money in there. I mean, I didn't even know that Calvin had found any.
And because Calvin didn't find any money, he then told Alan to call his friend who was staying down the hall, and that was David Taylor.
Yes.
Had you met David Taylor before this point?
No. Not that I could remember. No.
Okay. So David shows up in the room, and is there a fight? Is there a fight over the gun?
No. He just came in, and Calvin just Pooh shot him in the ear.
Why do you think that he shot someone in the head who's coming over to potentially bring more money?
I don't know. I don't know the guy. Like, okay. I knew I think, like I said, I could tell he was very, like, cold-hearted. We didn't even speak.
People who know Pooh Sims describe him as ice cold, no emotion, no hesitation at all. So he tells Alan something like, Listen, I need paper or this goes left, making it clear money was the only thing that mattered in that moment. According to her story, Alan then calls one of his friends who was staying downstairs in another room. Alan asks him to bring up some cash because these guys had money like that. The friend, David Taylor, heads up to the room right after the call. Court documents say the second David Taylor walks in, Pooh Sims puts a gun to his head. David tries to fight it off, and that detail reportedly comes from one of the women who was there, or possibly from Alan himself, based on the statements given later. When she retells it later, her story shifts again. She says the moment David Taylor walked into the room, Pooh Sims shot him immediately. No warning, no conversation, nothing at all. In her version, it happened fast and violent, like there was no hesitation whatsoever. In almost any other community, someone accused of setting events in motion that led to an innocent man being killed would be completely rejected. They wouldn't be welcomed back, celebrated, or treated like some kind of comeback story. There would be no countdown, no parties, no applause waiting for them. But in hip-hop culture, that reaction feels different, and that contrast is hard to ignore. Instead of distance and accountability, there's excitement, praise, and open arms. Like the past doesn't matter or didn't leave real damage behind.
Yeah, I would talk to him on the phone. We were talking on the phone. He basically, was giving me instructions, telling me, to lay low and stuff like that.
Right, because after the incident occurred, a loud shooting in a hotel in New Jersey, the police were called. So the police show up and they start the investigation.
When I was going to Sin City, actually, because I wanted to meet Max there, because I needed some money. And he knew I was coming there, and it was said that, he helped the police catch me. That's what one of the detectives said on the stand.
Oh, so Max knew that you were coming to Sin City, and a detective actually said that Max contacted the police and told them where you're going to be in order for you to be arrested?
Yes.
That's why calling Max B a hero doesn't sit right here. Based on the story told, his choices before the incident were already reckless, and what followed only exposed more about his character. Moving like that, then distancing himself from the fallout, doesn't scream loyalty or integrity. When everything is broken down, it paints a picture of someone moving for self-interest first. And when actions cost lives, trust disappears fast. Situations like this show why some people end up standing alone with no real friends, no real loyalty, just themselves at the center of it all. After the murder, the woman he sent on a fake errand started calling him, trusting him, leaning on him for guidance. He gave her step-by-step instructions on where to lay low and how to move, and she followed it all, thinking she was doing the right thing. She was ready to ride it out, but the problem was obvious from the start. The crime happened inside a hotel packed with surveillance cameras, so her face was already recorded everywhere. Police quickly made a positive ID, traced her address, and realized she and Max B were registered at the same place. When police went to that address looking for her, they questioned Max B directly about what was going on. And here's where it gets crazy. After telling her where to hide, Max B then turned around and gave police the exact location of that hideout, making her arrest easy and clean. She later talks about how crushed and betrayed she felt by all of it. But that reaction says a lot, because trusting someone who helped set up a robbery that led to an innocent man being killed was already a major misread. This situation shows a familiar type of person we see everywhere. The opportunist, the climber, the one who schemes and slips through cracks to protect himself first. That's why anyone moving around someone like Max B needs to stay sharp, because loyalty disappears fast when pressure shows up. You can even see how Max B clings to French Montana when he gets out, holding on to him tight like that moment meant everything. That's the pattern right there. Max B attaches himself to opportunity, wherever he sees it. That's how an opportunist moves, always looking for the next lifeline. Someone who can set up an innocent person to be robbed and killed, then sleep at night without real reflection, is not someone you can trust. A person with real conscience would eventually wake up and say, "Why did I do that? This was wrong." When that moment never comes, it tells you exactly who you're dealing with. Anyone capable of actions like that, then walking away emotionally untouched, isn't built for loyalty at all. That kind of mindset doesn't change just because time passed or the spotlight shifted. Now you've got Max B's brother, Pooh Sims, the one who pulled the trigger, running around trying to expose Max B with leaks, paperwork talk, and audio claims. There's a lot of noise, interrogation clips, and accusations floating around, but honestly, that circus doesn't change the core story here. What matters is the bigger question, and that's where I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Max B should really be celebrated, or does this situation deserve way more accountability? If you rock with real breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe to Dripzine, like this video, share it, and comment to keep the conversation going. Also, hit that hype this video button to help the channel grow. It's free, and it makes a huge difference. Thank you for supporting Dripzine. I truly appreciate it.